Previously on the Shooters Club podcast.
And when I first took photography, which was around 2000, 2001, I fell in love with it. And I was like, I'm only going to work doing photography for the rest of my life. I wanted to be a singer, right? So in my head, I was going to be like Beyonce level, you know. So that was like, you couldn't tell me that's not what I was going to do.
Right. So you have to sing the phone book for us.
Absolutely not. It was in the 2000s. I don't know when Johnny called me and he's like, hey, are you free tonight? And I was like, yeah. And I was so excited. I was like, he's going to have me shoot Summer Jam. And he's like, can you go to the Village? And I'm like, the Village? Jam. I get there. There's newspaper on all the windows. And I'm like, okay, this is different. There's gigantic bodyguards out front. I'm like, okay. I go inside. It's L.A. Reid's private birthday party.
Nice.
And there's only like 20 people in attendance, of which Jay-Z, Mariah Carey, and Steve Harvey. Mm-hmm. I'm happy to be here. Like,
right.
I'm happy. Like, this podcast,
yes,
it owes me, like, photography owes me nothing, because at this point, so many things have come to fruition for me. Mm-hmm. I've been in so many rooms. I've met so many amazing people.
Yes.
And just, yeah, it owes me nothing.
What up? It's DJ Derrick, one of the hosts of the Shooters Club podcast, photographer, videographer for Fame Academy.
Hi, my name is Thais Amber, and I'm one of the hosts of the Shooters Club podcast. I am a photographer. My company name is Grind Queens Photography, and I love to shoot everything under the sun.
Hey, my name is Carl Blacksmith Smith, and I'm one of the hosts for the Shooters Club podcast. I'm a photographer and videographer for Grind Queens Photography.
Welcome to the Shooters Club podcast. We are your hosts. I am Thais Amber. We have
Carl Blacksmith Smith
and
DJ Derrick Nelson.
yes, and it's such an honor just to have you, Derrick Williams, here with us. We're so grateful that we get to vibe with you today. Derrick Williams, he's New York-based photographer, one of the renowned photographers that's been around for a while. He began his career at the High School of Art and Design.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
And you definitely speak fluent Japanese.
Yeah.
I guess we'll get into that a little bit later. From 1980 to 1991, apprentice under Clifford Tran.
Right.
Is that correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. And then from 91 to 93, you were at Fagan.
Yeah, Fagan. He was actually what he did. He was a photographer also. These are individuals who I assist with. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
And then your first job was at the photographic lab tech. You were a photographic lab tech.
Photography technician. I was at Doi Camera, which was a Japanese camera on Madison Avenue, and I was pretty much the first black lab technician. And as I tell everybody, I don't like to say black or whatever, but at the end of the day, because during that time they didn't really hire too many blacks, you know. And as I said, they didn't hire me for my looks; they hired me for my skill, you know.
Right.
Right.
Okay, and that was, you were there. Were you there? Is this where you were there for about 13 years?
Doi Camera, exactly.
Right. Okay. And then you moved on to O. Henry's film work,
yes.
and you were the head lab tech.
Head lab technician, you know, developing film. And then from there, I went on to, because see, these particular labs, they were doing pretty much amateur development. And then I went on to a pro lab. See, a pro lab was totally different from an amateur lab. See, with a pro lab, you gotta know the ins and out of photography. That's the difference, you know.
Right. 2019, you started teaching at the Splash Light Studios in Soho.
Yeah, exactly. Again, like I said, I enjoy assisting because, again, at the end of the day, I'm learning a lot. And before I would say I'm this or I am that, I'm a student first, and that's the same mindset that I gravitate when I'm doing karate. You know, I'm a student first. I hear everybody talk about I'm this, I'm that, and I don't even say nothing. You could. That's what you call yourself. But if your work is not in line with what you call yourself, to me, you're nothing but a hypocrite. Anyway, I'm just saying.
Right.
So my thing is, Derrick, like you're very articulate about your work, very articulate, a person, period. And I want to come to you correctly.
Right, right.
All right. What I got to say is very important to me, kind of personal. But you've been, first of all, you are an inspiration to many,
Thank you very
including
much.
myself.
Thank you, beloved. Thank you.
Two, I just need to know who inspired you.
That's a great question. That's a real great question. I'm gonna be straight up with it. I was doing karate, and my mother saw in me passion. She said, "Boy, that boy loved that karate." I said, "Good." But my mother came to me and she said, "Baby, you need to have something else to fall back on. If you can't do karate, what would you do?" And it took me a while to find out what I like to do. And I found I had to study myself. In other words, I had to go within, you understand, and find out what I like to do. And I found myself in the library looking at Ebony, Essence. I was always attracted to magazines. And then at the end of the day, I said, I found what I like. Okay, and it was photography. Let me tell you something. When I went to school and learned photography, when I developed my first image, agitating the tank and seeing my image, I was like, OMG. I became hooked. And I was like, I did it. I did it. And I wanted to do it for the rest of my natural life. That's what inspired me, brother. You know, what mommy said. But then as I got older and more mature, I sort of kind of like changed certain things. I did say, I don't need anything to fall back on. I need something to fall forward on. You see? So again, I understood what mommy was talking about. But when you fall back, in other words, let me give you a synopsis. You can't drive your car forward looking in the rearview mirror.
That's right.
Right. So I said, yo, listen, and I understood mommy, no disrespect, love is love, but at the end of the day, I got to be real. I got to fall forward. And that's when my, I've grown, so I said, okay, I understand what mommy said, but let me tweak it a bit. Let me Photoshop it some, and that's what it come out to. So I hope I answered your question.
From a technical standpoint,
Yes, sir.
you said you were the first black person to work in the lab
Absolutely. I'm sorry.
in New York City.
At that particular time, because they wasn't really hiring blacks. When I worked for Nikon, we was on Rockefeller Center. They were all Japanese in the forefront, but they kept me in the back. I didn't care. As long as you pay me my salary and I got my lab coat, I'm good.
What were your responsibilities or duties?
In terms of a photo technician was to develop a film, developing clients' film and stuff like that, and getting them ready on time at Doy Camera. When I was at Nikon, camera maintenance, I had to what parts I had to clean them, and then the next table clean them, whatever, push it down, push the tray down, and the next guy started putting it together. That's what at Nikon. It was on Rockefeller Center inside, and they also had a gallery, so people came there and look at images, what top photographers shot at that particular time. Yeah, so.
Did you ever see the differences in gear as far as when you were developing film? Could you tell this is from this type of camera, this is from that type of camera, or did it all look the same?
Well, actually, I did not know what type of camera it was from. You see, because when you say names, Canon, Nikon, whatever camera, that's about preference. That's all about what you select. You understand? But me, being that I worked at Nikon and I learned the mechanics of the camera, I was like, yo, I want a Nikon. That's what drew me to Nikon. Not because I worked there. That particular camera have to work for me, and it have to do what I needed to do. Because if it don't, it's just, I ain't got time to be wasting my time now, because at that time we were shooting film, which I still do. And I guess we'll cover that. I love film. Film, digital is quicker, it's faster, and it's what digital is inspiring to be what film is.
You think it's still not there yet?
It's even. It's almost no. I'm not gonna. Well, it's there. Let's say. That's a great question. It's there, but again, you're dealing with megapixels. When you enlarge that image, that's why I urge everybody to go to galleries.
Right.
Go to galleries and take your glasses off and look at the picture real close. Examine it. Let it resonate with you. Let it speak to you. And I can look at an image. My eyes are trained, and I can see the little separation of megapixels. So what they do now, they emerge the megapixels to make it look. When you look close, you won't see the separation in terms of pixels.
Right.
That's some technical stuff, because when it first came out, it looked like because you can look close and you can see the separation of pixels.
Right.
But the more megapixels it is, the closer the pixels are. Right? You can't see. So, beloved, to take, it's there. You know why? Because images that I have that are being displayed in gallery, what I do is I shoot film and I have it scanned. And I scan it and then I blow it up. That's where I'm at. That's my technical preference. I have it scanned, and if they need to retouch a little pimple, they could do that.
Right.
But it's still shot on film, baby. You feel me? And I keep it in my archive.
Right.
That's, so I hope I answered your question. Yes,
I want to ask you, okay, so.
Go ahead.
You started with Nikon.
Uh-huh.
All right, I'm a Canon guy.
Okay.
But I didn't need you to tell me the difference between the two. Why Nikon? Canon versus Nikon, and, Nikon versus Canon, and why?
Okay, that's a good question. But as I stated earlier, it's all about preference. It's what you like, brother. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm saying it's all about what you like.
Right, but I'm asking you, what's the difference between why you didn't say, okay, then I should have said, why not Canon?
You give me listen to me.
No,
that's
but just for you.
no, yeah. I'm with it. My thing is this, beloved. I don't see a name. I see a camera. Okay? So if I'm on a set right now and somebody got Canon, I'm going to shoot with what you got. Now, listen to this carefully now. There are certain camera companies that endorses you.
Yeah, right. That's what we.
Now, if Canon endorsing me because of my work, I have to sign a contract with Canon, and I can't be free. I can't talk about Nikon products.
Right.
I can't. Everything have to be Canon. Now, Canon will send me items to work with, to learn, or they will also send me a technician to teach me how to operate with Canon, and then they will set me up with a big workshop or something like that. But it will always be sponsored by the camera that I'm shooting, Canon. So that's what it is. But see, a photographer like me, they won't really hire. You know why? It's because I speak the truth. Let me explain something to you. What is the truth? Let me tell you what. The truth of the matter, if they are endorsing you, you are on contract to speak about that. I got to be free. So what works for me, works for me. In other words, when digital first came out, all of these companies took all of the top photographers and gave them contracts. Say, you got to endorse this product. You got to do this. You got to do it. And they couldn't talk about that. But me, I shoot with 4x5. I shoot with Hasselblad. I shoot with Nikon. That's where I come from. I'm a student. And when I first, Nikon was not really the first camera that I started with. Let me rephrase that. It was a Pentax K1000. And I bought it from a pawn shop.
Right.
I bought it from a pawn shop. A black. Yeah, I bought it from a pawn shop. Okay? I took that camera, Pentax K1000, that I bought from a pawn shop and started shooting weddings, bar mitzvahs, everything. That's how I made my money. Then I won my first Canon. I won my first Nikon in a contest. Nikon gave a contest, and I entered it. And they was giving away a Nikon F. I think it was an F. It was a Nikon F, whatever body it was, because I got 7 Nikons. Anyway, and I won that. And when I won that, it was an FM2. And when I won that camera, that was all she wrote. Because you know why? Because I couldn't have put a motor drive under that Pentax. But I was able to put a motor drive under that Nikon FM2. And when I heard that Nikon, ooh, baby. What?
What's the pixels on those cameras?
Those cameras don't shoot with pixels.
Oh, at all.
Now that these are all film cameras.
Film cameras.
Yeah, these are all film cameras.
That's why we're not digital.
Right. It's all film. But I do have. Please understand, I do shoot with digital. I don't want to limit myself. I do have. I have 2 digital cameras. I shoot it.
You grow into the
Yes. You know, and most photographers, they didn't like digital when it first came out. They ain't gonna tell you that.
Nah, few told me.
Oh, okay. Well, they, you know what I'm saying? They being truthful.
It's the same thing in the music industry. I come from being a DJ and sound engineer first.
Yes.
Same thing, the technology had to catch up because what you're trying to do is you're taking the analog world
Right.
and you're trying to digitize it.
Right.
It's just like the camera or the lens will never be as good as the human eye.
Right.
That's
You're
right.
right.
So it's like you said, it's finally caught up.
Right, indeed. And at the end of the day, sometimes when I'm watching DJs, I heard old DJs talk about the new DJs. You know, he's doing it because the new DJs have it like on a laptop, right? But when I went to certain, they ain't had them. They was doing it by hand. I was like, oh. So when I heard that interview with another DJ talking about analog versus this, I was like, yo, that's the same thing with film. Wow. I saw the connection. You know, so I got inspired by that. So I'll go to DJ and I'll be watching him.
Because it's the same thing.
It's like from old to new.
Right.
When you talk about sound, you have the human ear can hear from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz.
Right.
There's
Wow.
a certain amount of space.
Right.
And then whatever's there's infinite number of frequencies on the low end and the high end. We feel those.
Right.
Digitize it.
Yes.
You only have so much space.
Right.
So you have to get rid of a lot of that. So even though you may not specifically hear those frequencies,
Right.
something's missing and your
Yes.
body knows it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You right. Ooh, that's yo.
We're talking about the same thing.
Yeah,
We're talking
straight
about
up.
film, the color depth.
Right.
So
Indeed.
you don't see it.
Indeed. And so when I'm doing an image, like I was showing you in my portfolio, if my image does not speak back to me, it goes back to what James Brown said. It's talking loud, but it ain't saying nothing. You see? So when I spread out my images, they got to talk back to me. And I tell anybody, if your images are not talking to you, what type of communication you having? They got to talk. I got to feel it. And when I feel it, that's what creates an iconic image. Okay? An image that can be shot in 1930 and resonate to 2024.
Okay, so with that being said, as a photographer,
Yes, sir.
what do you have a preference? Because some people say, well, I like to shoot weddings, I like to shoot live events. Do you not look at the event and only look at the image itself that's before you? Or do you have preferences in events and styles?
Well, bottom line is, whatever, I ask the photographer, what are you shooting? Say like if I'm giving a critique on a portfolio, what's your forte? What do you like to shoot? If you bring me a book, like this particular book here is based on fashion. So if that's what you introducing me to, and I don't know you, but if you introduce me, I'm going to look at your book and say fashion. So if that's what your forte is, then I'm going to examine your work. So what?
I'm asking you, what do you prefer to shoot? What do you
That's a good question.
enjoy?
Okay, that's a great question. And I want you to listen carefully.
I'm listening.
I am a photographer. I shoot still life, nudes, fashion, glamour, landscape. I shoot everything and anything. I don't want to be stigmatized, put in a box as to a fashion photographer. I am a photographer.
There you go.
That's the best. That's me. You will catch me out in the street with my light meter looking at trees. But what I'm really looking at is the contrast, the separation between the grass and the rocks and stuff like that. And then when I develop that picture, I'm like, ooh, it's like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, I'm telling you, it's like, what? And if you can't have that type of expression with your work, passion, with a purpose. And when I was young, girls, they thought, I'd have been called everything. But let me tell you, oh, is he gay? Or is he this? Or is he that? It was always hard to figure me out. You know why? Because I wasn't really a standstill. That brother always doing something, always going somewhere. I was either going to a world karate tournament, or whenever I'm not doing karate, I'm in the studio, or I'm writing down, preparing my next shot. So when I get on the set, I know what I want. Now you bring in people. It's called a collaboration. Because nobody does things by themselves. Right. Even this production.
That's right.
You didn't do it by yourself. Somebody had to do the lights. Somebody had to do it. Same thing with photography. Makeup, wardrobe, whatever. And it's all about collaboration to bring my vision to life. And at the end of the day, like I said, I don't need nobody trying to control my vision. And then what I said, maintain the integrity of your vision. Maintain, because you get designers and everybody, okay, well now if they pay me that money, I'm going to do what they say do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, all right, I got you. But when you say if somebody hire you for an assignment, get the assignment first, and then, but get something for yourself. Right. That's why you go behind you guys go behind the scene and get pictures with the celebrities that you guys shoot or whatever. Yes. That's cool. But make sure you always get something for yourself. Right. Always. Because what you do later on, you start to build an archive. Right. And when you build that archive, right, that's what really speak for you. And that's, again, listen to this carefully, all of us. Whatever you don't respect, excuse me, let me get that right. Whatever, and that's on anything. How can I say it? You have to learn, I'm going to say it, you have to learn to respect your work. You have to learn to respect your work. You hear that term, respect? What I wanted to say is whatever you don't inspect, the world won't respect. So if you don't have respect for what you're doing, not just passion, how you treating your image? You don't just have everybody breathing with your food. You got to respect your. So put them in a nice archive. You feel me? And remember, whatever you don't inspect about your work or about yourself, whatever you don't inspect, the world won't respect.
That's a good point there, because a lot of people, like when I started doing 360 videos of photos,
right?
People was just like, "What's that?" And I was like, "That's just 360 photos." And I designed it to where it's totally different, right? Than any other photos, right. And then when people start to see that work, to see that type of images, they just like perplexed on it for a minute. They was like, "What's that? It's dope, but what is it? How could you make money or whatever?" Right. It don't matter. It's mine. Right. Exactly. I own this. Right. Nobody else is doing it but me. Right. So let me run with it, and I've been more respected than people who just been respecting my work. Right. And like you said, if you respect your work, people gonna respect your work.
Exactly. Stay committed.
Right. Let's go. There's something that you said, which was a quote, which I loved. You said, "Photography is the nutrition, and the sound of the shutter is my heart beating pulse."
Absolutely right.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that? That was I'm going to hang that up somewhere. That was so profound.
Right. Just make sure you put Derrick Williams under it.
Yes, absolutely.
Sure. Because bottom line, as we talk history, which means his story, mankind, we have many years became a mystery. So that's why we gotta, do what we gotta do. Anyway, but as you were saying, let me just get back to what you were saying. So again, it all relates to me. It all relates to when I hear the shutter, that moves the pulse of my heart, move in accordance with the shutter on my camera. Mm-hmm. So it's a connection. And as I stated earlier, when I look at my images and they don't resonate with me, it's like, no, it didn't make it. That don't necessarily mean I'm going to throw it away. I'm going to put it in the archive.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when I'm doing a show or whatever, it has to resonate with me. So I put that to the point where it's all spiritual. Where if you see that, it's like a human being. It's spiritual. It's a connection. And what that says is that I am solely connected to what I do. I am photography.
Right.
Photography is me. There is no separation. So when I put that quote, that's what I mean. It has to resonate with me, my heart, passion. But again, like I said, you can have passion, but have passion with a purpose.
Right.
And once you got passion with trust me, it will. I knew I was a photographer when I took my last allowance, and I said, film or something to eat, film or something to eat. I had to make a decision, and when I bought film over something to eat, most people, boy, you crazy, you done lost your damn mind.
Exactly.
You know?
A couple of things about that.
Right.
First of all, that's how Barry Gordy used to have his team sit around the table and they listen to a song and they say, "You gonna buy a sandwich or you gonna buy this record?" And that's
Wow.
how they would choose records before they put them out.
Wow.
Would you buy a
Interesting.
sandwich or would you buy this record with your last bit of change?
Wow.
And I want to thank you for saying that because I'm a real technical person.
Yes, likewise. Yeah.
So I like to get things, technically right. So with shooting,
Right.
ISO, shutter speed, f-stop, is it in focus? And you're focusing on all those things, trying to get the picture right. I knew this when I used to produce records. I used to listen to the music, and if I had an uneasy, tight feeling, it wasn't good enough.
Right. There you
If
go.
I had a relaxed feeling in my stomach, then it was good enough.
Right,
So
right.
Looking at the images, you got to get that same feeling.
Absolutely.
From now on, I'm going to start looking at my pictures like that.
Right.
Right, that's
Right.
awesome.
Exactly.
I think I'm growing as a photographer because when I first started photography, I would just, look at the person and just
Right.
shoot.
Right.
But now, if it's concert photography or stage photography, I wait for it's like I'm holding my breath.
Right,
Just
right.
to wait for the lighting and not the
Right,
fog. And then
right.
I want them to be positioned in a
Right.
certain way, and I'm holding a shot, and then I just hear that
Yes.
shutter.
There you go.
And so when I look back, I'm like, yes.
Yes, exactly.
When like you said,
Come on.
you have to become one.
Right. With
With
what
your
you're doing.
camera
Yes.
and
Yes.
what's going on.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So as you were talking, that's what I was thinking about.
Yes, yes.
So my question to you is,
Come on.
when you first started some photography many years ago, till now, your growth,
Oh yeah.
and if you could
Yeah.
just
Well,
talk about that a little bit.
Like I said, I write a lot. I have essays on lighting. I write a lot. I mean, and I enjoy writing. I mean, I write. You give me toilet paper, I'll write it. I'll write it, and then I'll
Right.
just transfer it to what I need. I have a whole, like I said, essay on different lighting. I enjoy that. So to elaborate with your question is capturing the moment. And I wrote something down.
Yes.
Okay, so it said,
Awesome.
what the eye does is find and focus on the particular subject. That's what you got to do. What the eye does is find and focus on a particular subject within the mass of reality. Okay? So listen to that. Now I said reality. So you know what you was waiting? You was waiting for that moment to be real. That way, when you go back to look at it, you know you can't recapture it. You can't go up to the artist and go, could you do that again? Could you sing it again? It's like shooting a wedding.
Right.
You can't ask them to get married again.
No.
Okay? So that's when I'm talking about the reality. You was waiting for that real moment. And it goes on. It says, again, you was waiting for the reality. What the camera does is simply register upon film or digital the decision made by the eye. You understand?
That's powerful.
So you literally making a connection here, and then when you go back to look at the image, you girl, you know what you feel.
Yes.
You be like, you have like a hallelujah moment. Hercules, Hercules, Hercules. You have what you call a hallelujah
So
moment.
true.
Exactly. And that's what really makes you like, ooh.
Yes.
And then once you get hooked, okay, you hooked, baby.
Yes.
You hooked. So I hope I really answered your question. But that's
Yes,
that's
thank
that
you.
moment. Because again, notice I said that moment. You can't capture that moment again.
Right.
And maybe another photographer didn't capture this. Another photographer can be in the same ground you are, but he don't got your eye.
That's right.
That's what separates you
Right.
from him or her. So y'all can be on the same platform,
Yes.
but you'll see different. Uh-huh.
Sometimes it's 30 photographers there.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to get my
Exactly.
most creative moment.
There you go.
And I have to hold my breath and wait.
There you go. And see, and then that's what I think. Like I shoot a lot of runway, but I stopped shooting runway.
Okay.
You know why I stopped for a minute? I stopped shooting runway because I don't want to get the same image as somebody else got.
Exactly.
I'm unique. I'm different.
Right.
You know?
I want to say something about that. Like,
Yes, sir.
Every time, this is what I noticed. I heard a photographer say this once. He said, with every picture you shoot with your camera, no matter what you shoot and what the other guy's shooting, it's always a different image regardless.
Absolutely.
Even if the guy blink his, y'all took the same image and one guy blinked his eye and one guy didn't.
Right. You're right.
You never get the same shot.
Right.
Right. Exactly.
You
You're
get a
right.
shot every single time.
You're absolutely right.
And my thing is that when I shoot, you just shoot raw now. When I shoot my images, I kind of blank myself out. You know how back in the day when somebody had to fight somebody and they said, "Oh, I had to block out."
Yeah.
You don't think about nothing.
Right.
Like when I used to leave classes,
Uh-huh.
they used to pick on me. I used to black out. I was like, "Oh, Derrick told me something. You don't mess with me."
Right.
When I'm behind that lens, when my eyes is behind it, I black out.
Right.
I don't worry about nobody.
Right. You right.
I just go on and do what I do.
Right.
And I don't even think about
Right. The next person.
what shoot. And just,
Right.
just do my thing.
I
And
agree
That's why I
with
come out with the pictures I like.
Right,
and
right.
Again, like you said before, you want to respect yourself and have people respect you for what you love to do.
Right.
If they don't love what you do, then they can keep you moving.
Right. And you're so right about that. You know, but a lot of times when I'm shooting runway, a lot of the photographers, you know, because I do a lot of editorial.
Right.
I would have brought some more magazines what I've shot. You know, I do a lot of editorial, and everybody's submitting. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, it's like I don't my camera, my film, it's like my girlfriend. I don't want everybody around my girl. You know what I'm saying? I don't want everybody around my girl. Back up, man. What's wrong with you? Because listen to this. And all the brothers may have experiences.
Right.
Now I want y'all to be better with the brothers. Now, you with your homies on the block. You by yourself. Yo, what's up, everybody? Yo, what's up, Black? You know how we do. Hey, what's up?
169.
Now, when you go. When you with your girl, everybody, yo, Black, what's good? They always giving you a
Extra.
different, exactly. It ain't for you. It ain't for you. They looking at your girl. Oh damn! Look, yo, damn! Look what Black. Yo, what's up? What's
I
up?
do that when I pull up in the car. She's sitting in the passenger seat. I pull up. Yeah, what up? Yo, Black. Oh.
You always get that response.
You get a different
But
response. That's right.
and right, I mean, I'm being real. So my thing is, I'm gonna give you something to talk about. Come on, baby, y'all good? You see me holding her hand. You feel me? And another thing is that yeah, they give you that grand, you know, but they ain't really. But what I'm saying is that you don't have everybody breathing over your food.
Right.
So is your woman not more worth than the food you eat? So she may go, oh, honey, it ain't. No, sweetheart, listen to me. Relax. Okay, relax. You with me. You know, and it ain't being, I'm jealous of you or whatever. It's just, listen, baby, I don't want everybody breathing over you. No, I don't. You, please, you know. And I'm not saying that like you're some type of piece of food or whatever. You are worth more than the food that I eat. So I'm gonna protect and respect what I love. I don't want everybody around my food. That's just it, you know. So my film and my photography is just like that. You know what I'm saying? Please. And then you know what? growing up, as I stated, I had people a little jealous. You know, like, you spend more time with that damn camera than you do with me. Like, hold up.
I heard that so many times.
Okay, now, and I said, listen, this photography, this is what you fell in love with me, because bottom line, you always saw me doing something other than what them other brothers was doing. They was hanging out, doing what they doing, and you saw me with my camera on it. Now all of a sudden that you got me, you want to act like that? So check it out though. My thing is this: with anything, whatever you're doing, don't become complacent. I don't never say I got that woman. I used to have my homies. You know how we from the 69th Street Black. You know, yo, I got that. That's mine. That's mine. Whenever you start to say you got her, that's when you start to lose her. You know why? Because now you stop producing the things, the actions that you used to do to win her. So your baby used to take me out. You know how he take me out. You better balance it out with date night or whatever. I mean, that's just my take on it. This is how you land in a long-lasting relationship. But you know, I'm old school, so that's you know, I'm 65 years old, so that's how we get down. That's how mom and daddy kept it together.
But I'm asking you a question. So, the love of the woman or the camera, which was more weight to you?
Okay, that's a good question. There is no comparison. First of all, let us establish that.
Right.
The reason why I say there's no comparison is because I love you one way, and I love photography another way.
Right.
My father one time, yeah,
That's a great answer.
my father said to me, boy, you love that Chinese man more than you love me? I said, Dad, hold up. First and foremost, he's not Chinese, he's Japanese. Okay? I love you, Dad, because if it wasn't for you, there would be no me. And I would not even know this teacher. But, Dad, there is a different type of love. And if any woman, and I say if any woman is consciously aware that you're capable of loving, she wouldn't hate. She would investigate. Okay? She wouldn't hate, and she would feel no comparison. She wouldn't feel no comparison. She'd say, because I know this man love his photography, so he have the potential to love me.
Right.
That's what I look at it. If you love something, you expressing potential. So you can't. Your love for your girl and your camera is two different loves. Your woman could cook for you. Your camera can buy the food now, but somebody need to stir it up in the pan.
That's right.
So you shot. You got the money. You gave it to your woman. Your woman went home, bought the meat, cooked the meat. Pow, you ate, right? So, again, your camera got you paid. You gave it to your woman. Your woman cooked the food. So I love them both. I hope I made a good analysis.
That is a great analogy.
That's it.
You taking pictures of celebrities.
Okay.
Boom, 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 boom. You put your film, you put your photos in the book. You say, wow, I did my thing. But you had somebody come to you that's in the book that you took, and they say, yo, man, that's my images in there. What you gonna say to them?
Wait. First and foremost, let me explain something. I'm just going to talk about that. That's a great. First and foremost, it's not their image. You are the author of the image. Did he push the shutter? Answer it.
You all say the same thing.
No. He didn't push the shutter.
Right.
Exactly. He didn't push the shutter.
You push the shutter. So that makes you the author of that image.
And the owner.
And the owner, of course.
Hold on a second. And you heard that from the Shooters Club podcast.
Absolutely.
They continue.
There you go. You the author of that.
Right.
If he said that's my image, you just in the image, beloved. You're in the image.
Right.
And be grateful that I caught you in the image, okay? Because I could have turned my camera the other way.
Right.
But as far as that question, you are the sole author of that image. You the owner. You own everything. That's your image.
Right.
You know, so stand down, boy. I mean, you're right. Anyway.
And then what happens if you take like 100 to 200 or 500 photos? And, you could give the artist, a few photos.
Right.
But some people think that you're supposed to give them all the photos.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
give me all the footage and all the photos. Meaning like your your overexposed photos, your dark photos, your photos that
No,
are not
no,
really good.
no, no.
They
Let me-
want everything.
Right. Let me tell you something. You never.
Just to enlighten, it's not to put anybody down.
Right,
This is
right.
the Shooters Club podcast.
Right. Let's talk
Just
about
to
it.
enlighten.
These are issues that we need to cover.
Right.
This is an industry.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether you want to, it's an industry, and you're going to get those type of people.
Right.
So to respond to your question, you never. You all know what a contact sheet is. I still edit contact.
Right.
You don't never show your worst work.
Exactly.
I'm gonna say that again.
You
You
heard that?
never show your worst
But they
way.
think that you're taking
I don't
something
care
away
what they
from
think.
them.
I don't care what they
Right.
think. You are the author.
Right.
You are the shot caller. You are the one who pressed that shutter.
Right.
You give them what you think they deserve, and you never expose your bad work.
Right.
You never.
But then they feel like
I don't care what they feel.
Right.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you straight up. I don't care what they
Right.
feel.
But that's what we're trying
What
to
you
get
going
to.
to- yeah, but
we're
listen.
trying to get to. We want to give you.
Listen
if,
to me.
If it's 500 shots, we're gonna give
No,
you
no,
our
no.
best
You
200 shots.
listen. If you did 500 shots,
Not our worst work.
they all have to be edited.
Right.
Now, when designers, listen to me, when designers put their clothes on the runway, they may have 126 wears, but they're going to edit it down to 60.
Right.
The editing is the thing. So you edit your work
Yes.
and don't care. Again, these are individuals who want to try to create, who want to try to control your creativity.
Thank you.
Exactly.
These are individuals who want to try to control your creativity.
Right. I appreciate
You was
saying
the
that.
one who stood, watch how the light fall on that subject, not him or her.
That's
Right?
right.
And then you shot, click, click, you press the button.
Yo, I say this to a lot of photographers. I say, listen, when you take a picture of all these people, right? Like, they say if somebody pay you and say, yo, come out, take some pictures of the crew. Okay, cool, boom, take pictures at an event. And then they don't tell you. They say, yo, just send me a couple of pictures. No, they say, yo, I need that SD card, bro. Send me everything.
No,
Right,
no.
hold on. So then, you know what I tell them? I said, listen, this is my masters.
Right.
I never give out my
Exactly.
masters.
You right.
Okay?
You
I
right.
give you what I want. And then they say, oh, come on, Black. Come on, just give me.
Nah.
I tell you what. I'm going to send you some pictures. I edit like 100 pictures or whatever case may be.
200.
And you good.
Right.
And then
They're not satisfied.
And-
and they say, oh, yo, can you send me the picture? Oh, there's some pictures that's missing in there. Can you send me all the pictures? I'm like, dog, you never would get
right.
all my work.
Right,
You
right.
would get the edited work
The best
all
of
the
the
time.
Right,
The best
exactly.
and the best all the time.
Because
$50,000. That's how much.
right. And then another thing is, remember, your work represents you.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
Your work represents you. Okay? And that's how you got to think. I don't what? You said it right.
This is going to be on the podcast.
You know,
Yes.
Go ahead, this is gonna
if they want, you said it right.
Uh-huh.
That SD card is the masters. And you know the same thing in the record industry. Control your masters.
That's right.
Exactly. Until you get it back and you own it.
Right.
or
You know what I'm
whatever, how
saying?
they
But
do
it don't but bottom line is it don't even have to go through all these channels.
Right.
You got it, you own it, maintain it.
That's it.
And now another thing is, as you get older and better, start setting up some type of foundation where if you gone, your work still resonating.
Right.
You understand? You go to Helmut Newton and all these other, they got galleries. They got all the Helmut Newton is dead, but his work is still. They still showing his work.
Yes.
That's why I tell you, let your work, as it says in the Bible, let my works speak for me.
Right.
I take that and run with it.
Amen.
I want my works to resonate, speak with. What is a Derrick Williams image? I want it to be, and that's why I said in my book, I showed you diversity.
That's
Can we see that? Can we show it to
Sure.
the world?
Yeah.
We're talking about Derrick Williams images. Let's see a few.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I hope.
You got that? Is it?
Can we see it?
Just hold it up a little bit.
Yeah, because you got the light hitting from the top.
Well,
Okay,
maybe
it's
you-
right there. No, it's good. It's good right there. It's good.
Right here. Quickly, this I'm gonna be real quick. This was shot with film. I like, as I stated, I like to show diversity in my work. So I left the film borders on the image. The film borders. That's basically what it is. A lot of this particular book is about fashion and glamour. I shoot street photography as well. Okay, this particular shot here was shot on with Polaroid. Okay, Polaroid film. I scanned it and whatever, you know. This was shot. This was shot digital. Okay, this was shot on slide film, Kodachrome, which Kodak don't make no more. This was Tri-X, whatever. So basically, I'm trying to basically show a lot of diversity in my work. You know, this particular book is my fashion book. But as I said, I go around, I shoot street, you know, just like Jamel Shabazz, my brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And all these other guys, you know, Joe Calzone, you know, those are what I would call documentary type work.
There you go.
You know, documenting, you know. This particular book, as I stated, is my fashion book, you know.
Dope.
And I don't like anything
I like that right there. That's dope.
to stagnate me, you know.
Right. You
I
said
don't
that one was digital, right?
This one I shot with digital, yes. This, you know. But see, when you come from film into digital, you still have that film mindset with digital. You know, you want sharp, you want and digital work with you. It works with you and for you. You know. But yeah. So this particular shot was called. You're going to see this a lot. This was published in the magazine. This is called Martini Dreams. I have this in terms of postcards. You can go to my website. You can order the postcard and things of that nature. This is called Martini Dreams, and we shot this in TWA Hotel.
Right.
We had the whole thing locked down. You feel me? Okay, I don't want to skip because I love these images. Again, this is Martini Dreams. You know, if you notice, they all have all the images. It's a series.
Right.
You know, and this one also part of that. And so forth and so on. I like to shoot drama, and in my my lighting, I like to be drama. You know, I don't like drama in my life, but I love drama in my creativity.
That's right.
You know,
Gotcha.
That's
I
very
don't like
creative.
drama in my life.
But
You know,
Beautiful.
drama
Right.
tells the story, bro.
drama tell the story, but at the end of the day, yeah, drama tells this type of story, but not in my life.
No, I know that.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
saying
okay.
drama,
Yeah,
drama,
yeah,
drama
yeah,
and
yeah.
photography story.
Yeah, exactly. You
There
know,
you go.
artistic. You know,
Nice.
and this particular shot
She
here.
look like Madonna, younger Madonna, right
I
there.
know this girl was really. This is called Flight Rage. See the airplane in the background. She's looking up at the other airplane. In other words, images have
Tilt it
to
this way a little bit.
Images have to
Yeah.
tell a story.
There you go, right there.
It has to tell a story. So this particular is called Flight Rage. So when I turn the next page, you see she missed a flight.
It's a lot of great emotion.
Right. So she right. So you see she's trying to run. The hat is actually falling off
Yeah,
her
I see
head,
that.
and I caught it. Okay, and she know how to give expression.
Right. That's a
And
great
and at the end of the day, she missed her flight. So that's why I call this series Flight Rage.
beautiful.
You know.
Going back,
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry, you
Go
talked
ahead.
about your website.
Okay, yeah, my website is KaizenStudioProductions.com. Let me break that down. It's KAIZ as a zebra, EN Studio Productions with an S on the end, .com. And I'm going to be adding new image. So right now I'm going through what you call website development. I sit down and have meetings with myself. I do what you call a pre-shoot planning meeting, even if I'm by myself. I put everything together so that way when I get on the set, I know what I want. I know how the makeup needs to be. We're not wasting time.
Right.
I do not like to waste time. Why? Time is a precious commodity. Once lost, it can never be regained.
Right.
And I like to run a professional set. So I do what you call pre-shoot meetings and stuff like that. But KaizenStudioProductions.com, and Kaizen is a Japanese word that means constant improvement. It's associated with the highest of quality, and it's like an hour hand on a clock. You can stare at the hour hand clock for days, and you will not see it moving. But it's making slow and steady progress. And that's how I like to do my work. You know, I don't like to rush at 1% a day. If you take that 1% a day, not 10%, not 25%, and not 30, 40, because now you become overwhelmed. And then that overwhelmness leads to anxiety. And then you get frustrated. Oh, I don't want it. Then you ain't going to do it again.
Right. Exactly.
So if you do it 1% times that, times 365, now tell me, mathematically speaking, how many days you done improve? 365. So your project is done. So don't let nobody rush you. Take your time.
Take your time.
And 1% a day. That way you won't get overwhelmed. You know how to balance it out. Your wife got time. Your children got time. You give your grandchildren. All right, granddaddy got to go to work now. Okay, boom. Leave me alone. When I'm at my work, leave me be.
Exactly.
You know, just leave me be because I'm creating now, and I want to. Again, I want to connect to that. I'm making a connection. You understand? And I'm a man. I got to be who I am. Yo, you're going to either help me be who I am, or you can bounce.
That's dope.
And that's why I've always had
that.
at early women problems.
I need to follow that because my people's always tell me all the time, like, yo, you need to work on this book, Black. I mean, I got all the artists' signatures and
Right.
quotes, the shout outs and the quotes from my new book coming out.
Right.
But I haven't really finished my book. And everybody, yo, when you gonna have this book? You did this.
Okay.
So
Right,
I need
right.
to take time out
There you go.
and put it on the side. Like, yo,
Again, everybody want to try to control you. You the author. Let me tell you something. I am the author of my life. If a person come by in a library
he's
and pick
first.
the book,
God's first, though.
and yes, I am the author of my life. God is first because God's the one who created life and gave it to me.
Amen.
Okay, so now if they look at that book, oh, I don't like it. Not a problem. Close the book and put it back on the shelf. And somebody else will come along and go, damn, this book I was looking for years. It's the same thing. You are the author of your life. If they don't like it, they can close the book and put it back on their shelf. If they like the book, they're going to enjoy it. They're going to, this book, I'm inspired by. As an artist, we are all inspired by something. Take the time and see what you're inspired by.
That's right.
You know, we are all inspired by something. So, again, everybody, society rushes you. When are you going to do this? When are you going to do that? Do it on your time. And that, at the end of the day, you rush stuff, it won't come out right.
That's right.
Right.
Take your time.
Take your
1%.
time. Thank you.
You know,
Yeah, I think
1%.
Joe Conzo just said that. He said his book came out a few years ago.
Right.
He's been doing it a very long time.
Right. Most people who've been doing their book, I got a book that I'm working on.
Right.
But you got to you got to see who's going to publish it. Because, certain publishers, I can name some names who I don't want to say it on screen, but who sue one of their photographers.
Oh, wow.
And you know who the photographer is, but we could talk about this off camera.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, definitely off camera. But yeah, man, if you just remind me, I can give you, I don't even want to say the company name.
Yeah.
I got you. I got
You know, we'll talk about it off camera.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they lurk. Yeah. Well,
I had a question.
Sure.
So people want to hire you as a photographer,
Yes.
but they don't like your prices. So they'll say, oh, well, I could just get this one person to do it, with their cell phone or something like that.
For lesser price or whatever.
For less than $100 or whatever the case may be, which is fine. So as photographers, especially if you do this and this is the only thing that you're doing.
Right.
Like some people just think like, oh, okay, I have a 9 to 5 and you could just throw me any number.
Right.
Please shoot my daughter's baby shower or whatever the case
Right.
may be. And you have your professional camera. You
Uh-huh.
have to go home. You have to edit all this stuff.
Absolutely.
Whether you take 500 pictures or not, you have to give them the best of your best.
Right.
With your naked eye.
Right.
And then they want to, oh, well, I just want to, can I just give you $50 or $100? What? Not saying you would take it.
Right.
But that's the mindset. Like,
Right.
your price is your price.
Okay.
But everyone, not
ahead,
everyone,
keep going.
most people want something for nothing.
Right.
How do you deal with that as a new photographer or, even a legend?
That is absolutely a great question. And this is something that we as artists, photographers must address. First and foremost, I'm going to say you can't miss what you never had. Let us start with that. You cannot miss what you never had.
That's right.
So if you don't get that job, you ain't never had the job. You ain't missing nothing.
That's
But
right.
don't lower your standards. Don't lower. Everybody, see, when I grew up, there was no computers, there was no YouTube, there was no phone, there was no iPhone. We had to do things, and doing it from film, shooting a wedding for film. You see, let me tell you something about film. Film is very unforgiving. That's why most people stay away from it. It is very unforgiving. Film will make you a photographer or break you as a photographer. That's why digital came out. Okay, listen, I'm gonna talk real about the industry.
Live, digital.
You know, I mean, because
For all
digital
students.
is easy. It's quick. We live in a world of quick, fast money, fast cars, fast
Microwave,
women,
microwave.
everything. Right, everything.
Yeah,
Microwave.
society.
But the bottom line is, you can't compare megapixels to gelatin silver print. You can't. Anybody who know technical stuff, they know what the hell I'm talking about. If they call themselves a photographer, anyway. So bottom line is, again, so if they want you trying to lowball me, I don't play that.
Right.
I don't play that. You looking for me to do work. But if you want a lowball camera type, do it yourself.
Right.
Don't call me.
Yeah. Hire a family friend.
There you
or
go.
something.
There you go. But it will not be the quality of Derrick Williams.
Right.
See, names are associated with work.
Right. Right.
And if your name is associated with your work, oh, please. That can hurt you.
Right.
How? Somebody can come back many, many years. Here you got gallery shows, books out. They go, oh, well, such and such shot this. Really? Your name is associated with that.
Right.
You got to protect your name. You got to protect your image, and you got to protect your liking. So again, you can't miss what you don't have.
Right.
So if they don't hire you, not a problem. I'm not even going to give them. You're not even worth my time. Okay,
Right.
next, how you doing?
Right.
I'm
If
not
they work 40 hours, they want to get paid the 40
exactly.
hours that they're
So
working.
why should you lower yourself?
Right, and then we talk about if they pay the DJ, they pay the artist, they pay for the venue, but then
Bottom
when
line,
it comes to the
this
photographers,
is my standard price. And don't you think for 1 minute that you lost out. Damn, that was a job. No. Don't be desperate.
right,
Don't be like, excuse my expression, don't be like a damn hooker ready to sell your damn whatever.
right, know your worth.
Know your worth. You understand? Remember what I said earlier? Whatever you don't inspect, the world won't respect. How the hell you going to wait till somebody, how the hell you going to expect somebody to respect your work when you ain't got no damn respect for your own work or your own worth?
Exactly.
You feel me?
Right.
So this is, you know who I am? Oh, okay. Well, get with the program. Ask your mama who I am. Okay. Sometimes you got to get like that,
Right.
especially with us. You ain't. I'm not trying to disrespect you, but you ain't gonna tell your Jewish counterpart. Go in a Chinese store, and we have a lot of them in our community, and say, "Could I get 4 chicken wings with beef fried rice, and I'll pay you tomorrow?" Get out my store right now. Get out.
Right.
But we again. Listen to me.
And
I
they
want-
be in our community.
Listen to me. You tell them like this, and I want you to hear this clearly. I respond to fee, F-E-E, not free, F-R-E-E. I respond to fee,
I'm using that.
not free, but just put Derrick Williams on it, right?
Yes, okay, you hear me?
Okay.
We got to make the Derrick Williams.
Right, you see what I'm saying? So my fellow photographers
Yes.
worldwide, videographers, respond more to fee and not free. Because us, we get it twisted.
I'm gonna make a T-shirt.
You feel?
Derrick Williams.
And that's real talk. And again, like I said, you ask me a question, I'm going to come at you raw.
Right.
I'm going to come at you boing bang, straight up. No filter, no chaser, raw. And this is what it is.
Yeah.
You understand? And that's the talk.
That's right.
So we don't, as creative people in this world, remember you're fashioning another generation.
That's right.
There are going to be others that come after you. We ourselves are standing on the shoulder of giants.
Right.
What's his name? Gordon Parks.
Have we talked about him yesterday?
James D. Van D.
Yeah.
Right.
You understand? We standing on the shoulder. What's his name?
Generation.
DeVal. We standing on the shoulder of a giant. So don't let nobody undermine your work or undermine your worth.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
But
You
maybe
know?
they don't even know. They're just doing it out
But
of
that's
Well,
why.
bottom
They want
line,
something-
whatever
want
they don't
something for
know, they
nothing.
need to learn.
But that's why we have the Shooters Club podcast. So
Right.
they can learn.
Because right,
Hear
because
people like
bottom,
you,
right,
let people like you say, your experiences and,
Right.
and give you knowledge,
Right.
and information about, you know,
Right.
what we've been going through in
Exactly.
photography. They
Well,
need to know.
Right.
And then-
Bottom.
yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
There was another thing that you know, like I said, the artists get in, their whole crew gets in, you know, the DJs, everybody gets in. But then when it comes to the photographer, we're waiting outside like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours.
Kind of low in the totem pole,
So
but
you
when you're
kinda
most
Right.
needed.
Yeah.
Even though,
yes, you're right.
Exactly, we're the most needed. Like what Tyreek was saying.
Uh-huh.
Without the videographer capturing the moments,
Right,
without
right, right.
the photographer capturing the moments,
Right, right.
Like Joe Conzo said, when you close your eyes, what do you see? You see nothing. Even though the event happened. But my question is, we are like treated
Right.
like the lowest on the totem
Right.
pole.
Now, you know what? I had that same problem with Steve Harvey public relations people.
Talk to me.
I was when I was with Steve Harvey, and he knew my work. He was like, "Yeah, you know, I'm there," according to him. But now his public relations intervene with that. When she came to me, I said to her, "Sweetheart, there was other photographers. All I need was just 15 seconds with Steve Harvey, not 15 minutes. If you give me 15 minutes, that's all I need. That's more than what I need." She came to me, and she started treating me like, I said, "Listen, I'm not a paparazzi, and I don't need to be treated as such."
Right.
I said again, and then that what I said to you earlier, that kicked in my mind. I don't like drama. Put my name on a VIP or whatever list,
Right.
and let me walk up in there. If I'm not on the list,
Right.
I don't want no drama.
Right.
I don't want to stand. I'm different.
But sometimes we
Yeah,
have
you're
the
right.
all
ahead.
Sometimes we have the all access. We have the bands. We're on the VIP. Sometimes, and then we're still, whether it's security trying to block us or whether it's someone trying to block us, you know, we're still being
Yeah.
seen and treated as,
See,
You know?
I'm gonna be honest with
and
you.
we're trying to make them look great.
I hate that. I hate that because to me that's drama. You gotta pass. You gotta pass. I photographed Cisco when they was doing Montel Jordan. This was all at the Circle of Sisters, and I'm doing. Listen, put me backstage. Put me backstage. I don't want what. So I got backstage. Got what I need. I'm going.
Right.
I'm going.
All the
I got
time.
I got the main shot.
Right.
Everything else y'all get, I'm good. I got what I. So one thing, Wynton Marsalis, I have a image that's getting ready to be.
The jazz singer. The
Yes,
jazz-
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
He's a
jazz-
trumpeter.
The trumpeter.
Now, I really love Wynton. So we was at a project, and there was other photographers out there. When I walked in there, they let me in. I had no problem. Wynton Marsalis was warming up, and literally, this became a moment with just me and him, his trumpet, my camera.
Right.
It was just us, and while he was warming up, he was to me making love to that trumpet. He was making love to that trumpet,
Damn.
and I said to myself, "Damn it, let me make love to my camera." I took that camera, and so we was making love together. So that whole environment was filled with love.
Intimacy.
Intimate. And while he was blowing, I got him. Oh, and I'm shooting film. I'm like, oh damn. I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready to cry. Oh no. Okay, let me get it together. Okay. And now I'm shooting because I believe in exploring your subject.
Yeah.
Not just getting a one-dimensional
Oh, yes,
shot.
yes,
Get
everywhere.
different angles. See how the light fall on your subject. Look at them. You're studying. You're meditating. You're reflecting. So as I'm shooting, so I got these shit. And right now, the Jazz Museum, the National Jazz Museum, want that picture. Okay, so I'm going to blow it up, and it's going to be in their permanent collection.
Wow.
And it's a picture with Louis Armstrong behind in a poster. And Louis Armstrong, the poster got Louis Armstrong with his head down with his trumpet between his legs. And I got Wynton Marsalis blowing his trumpet. So I titled that shot A Song for Louis.
Wow.
And it's a black and white shot. And it's like, ooh, you know. But again, that goes back to not being treated like a paparazzi.
Right.
You gave me that moment, I took that moment. Now that's a moment recorded in history.
Right.
You understand?
Documented.
And when I got what I did, I said, I got what I needed. Now, I shot also another jazz great, George Dukes. I shot George Dukes with my medium format Hasselblad camera. That picture is so sharp, you could see the contact lens in George Duke's eyes.
What camera was that again?
It was my Hasselblad. Now, during the pandemic, I built a Hasselblad.
You built one.
Yeah, let me tell you, it's anybody who knows a Hasselblad. Hasselblad is a camera that they allowed to go to the moon. It's all mechanical. It's a medium format camera. It's only a film. But check this out. I bought parts from Japan. I buy China, all over the part, and I built it during the pandemic. And now I got a Hasselblad 500 cm. Now you take the Hasselblad, the film back off, and you put a Polaroid back on that same camera. Shoot. You take the Polaroid back off. Now look over here. I'm shooting with 100 megapixel with the same camera I built. I got everything. So you telling me my rate shouldn't go up? What?
Oh,
There you
you're
go.
not
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
So again,
joke.
remember, listen, as a photographer, as an artist, all this equipment you had to invest in.
Yes.
Regardless of how much time it took you to get it, you got it.
That's right.
Who's supposed to pay for that?
Thank you.
The people. You have to
Whoever
keep
wants the picture.
right. You have to keep this in mind.
Right.
You ain't doing this for. I didn't do photography for money. First of all, I do photography for the love of it.
Yes.
But if you want me to do photography from my images that you saw, I can give you that. But I'm providing you with a service.
That's right.
So if I'm providing you with a service, should I not get paid for my service?
Yes.
That's
the
it.
way they would want to.
Again, like I
if
said,
they were providing a service.
exactly.
Right.
That's it. Nobody does nothing for free. I don't respond to free. I respond to fee.
Right.
That's what you got to stand on. And remember, you can't lose what you never had.
Right.
I
Thank
need to
you.
ask, I need to ask you something.
Yes.
Every photo that you put out, say for the public use, you put a logo on it.
Of course. Because
Anybody came to you and say, "Man, I love that photo, man. Can you get that photo? But can you take your logo off?"
oh man, you know
I had that.
Yes.
well, listen.
People do say ask.
I will say F you and the world you live in. Okay, that's what I would say. F you and the world you live in.
Right.
No.
Okay, now you can put anything you want. You can put freak you or whatever.
Right.
I just said F. You can fill in the void anyway. But that's what it is.
Yeah.
So stop that. Stop again. You're big. You listen. You done did the work.
Exactly.
You done pound the pavement.
Yes.
Okay, so no, I don't mean to be rude, but you know,
It's not being rude.
I ain't no
think it's-
crackhead, man. Stop treating me. You know what I'm saying? Stop treating me
Everybody
like
just
that.
needs to be enlightened.
That's it. That's
and
it.
on the same page.
You want a service, you pay for the service.
There you go.
That's just it.
I'd like to say two things.
Yes, sir.
And I learned this doing sound at a church.
Yes.
We had, I'm gonna just say, I was a main engineer, and when they had the big event, they brought in a special engineer. Cool. I'm there all the time. I know the ins and outs of what's going on. You want to bring somebody from the outside for the special day, no problem. They ran into a situation when we was hooking everything up, and I saw a problem. I saw a problem. I said, it's going to be a problem. You want to listen to me. It's going to be a problem. It got to the point where, because this is a big event, they spend a lot of money.
Yes.
I want them to have a good event.
Yeah.
They're not listening to me. So I'm telling them, what you're doing is for today. But the recording is forever.
Right.
I'm
Right.
seeing the problem that was going to happen with the recording.
Right. Right.
Recording is forever.
Right.
You're worried about today. All right, no problem. 2 weeks later, they called me from the office of the person that hired them and said, "Hey, we're watching this video and there's no sound." Oh, yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you. Because they want to sell the DVDs.
Right. Right.
Now you can't.
You got no sound.
Wow. You see it?
Picture and no sound.
Right.
If you
Right.
had a great day,
Right.
that's gone.
Right. 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 Right.
So when you talk about your worth, you know, you got to remember that this is for history and this is forever.
Right, exactly.
Not just
Right.
for today.
Absolutely.
So they're worried, the security guards, they're worried about the events happening today. Publicists worried about what's happening
Right,
today.
right, right,
It's
right.
gone in
Right.
24 hours.
Wow,
That's
wow.
right.
Ain't that something? Right,
And
right.
the next thing about your worth is, because I see a lot of people, we talk about Taraji P. Henson, and everybody's complaining about, oh, I'm not getting paid what I'm worth.
Uh-huh.
This doesn't speak specifically to her, but when it comes to what we do, you gotta find a way to differentiate yourself.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. Yes.
That's right.
Because everybody's taking the same pictures, and like you were saying, when you hold your breath
Yes.
and you capture that special shot,
Mhm.
when people see your pictures,
Yes.
they gotta say, I'm hiring you because of what you do.
Right, right,
Absolutely.
right.
What you do
Mhm.
is not what everybody with their cell phones is doing.
Yeah.
Right, right,
With
exactly.
your cell phone, you can't even blow it up.
Right,
Oh,
right.
yeah, but
That's
now we're
another
not
thing.
talking
Right.
about from a technical
Yes.
standpoint. We're talking about from a spiritual standpoint.
Right, 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 right,
Absolutely.
right.
What you're doing, they're not doing it
Yeah.
because they're just like, and
Well-
people are posing and you're
Yes.
with a pose. No, we're catching moments.
Yes.
Right, right, absolutely.
And I
You're
appreciate
right.
you saying that, because when people see me take pictures, I'm on stage left, stage right. When I was at the Apollo, I was all the way at the top shooting down, you know, because of CL Smooth, you know, whoever was there. But I was there specifically for CL Smooth. I'm taking pictures from way up. I wasn't even supposed to be up there. But, you know, sometimes when I'm on a level with everybody else, I'm short. And then the other photographers, they're men, they're tall, and then they
Tall,
like
yeah.
to elbow.
Yeah.
So I have to be creative.
Right, right,
And so
right.
people are like, wow, how did you get a shot from center stage, stage left, stage right? I'm just everywhere.
Right, right,
I'm behind them because I want to be different. I don't want to be like everybody
Right,
else.
right.
You talking about that time at the Apollo Theater?
No, but the Apollo Theater and wherever I am.
Right.
You know, I have to move around. I want pictures
Right.
of everything.
And see the
You
thing.
know, 1 minute they're like this, the next minute they're
Yes,
like this.
yes,
I want
yes.
to capture every moment.
And that's right.
You
And
know,
see
he's
the
like, oh, you're taking 1,000 photos. Yes.
right. And
That's
see
what
the
I
thing
wanna
about
do.
it, you explored your subject.
Right.
That's the thing about it. You explored your subject. You see something, and when you run into another area, you're about to see something different from what you shot there.
Yes.
That's the key thing. So if you see something different, and okay, because I saw how you interact at an event that we was all at the Wu-Tang event.
Yes, yes.
Okay. What I suggest y'all do is get some production walkie-talkies. That way y'all can, you know, on the set. It's just between you and her. Babe, where you at? I'm on, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, good. You good? You all right? Periodically check in. I got walkie-talkies, you know, and when I'm on the set, I don't want to be running around here, you know. You all right? I'm all right. You good? Where you at? I'm up. I'm upstairs. Okay, good. Boom. Bow, 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 bow. You understand what I'm saying?
Right,
So
absolutely.
that's because I see y'all was working. Y'all was working, both of y'all. I'm like,
Yeah, we all over.
you know, and after I got, you know, y'all was working.
They're everywhere,
You know, and then at the end of the day, you know, and y'all was making sure that your people, which was me as well, had a great time.
Yes.
Because you was introducing me to people and stuff like that. I felt special. You know what I'm saying? And I remember one time when I was in the VIP room, you came there, you said to me, you good? And I was like, you know, whatever sign I gave you, I appreciate that.
Yes.
You understand? And see, that's things that's not to be taken for granted. So, and just elaborating on what the brother said,
Right, Tariq.
they lost out big time. Because see, Tariq was giving you a
More,
historical moment when these individuals are just giving you a moment.
That's
And
right.
guess what? It fell through. Because you remember what I said earlier? It's like film. It's unforgiving. Sound is the same thing.
Right.
Technical speaking, film is so unforgiving that if you don't get it right the first time, you can't ask those people to get married again. So they lost out. And I hope that they learned something. You want to, you know, I don't care, all that big equipment, that don't mean nothing.
I remember, I'm glad you were saying this. I remember one time I used to take a lot of video, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So when I first started taking video with this company one time, they gave me some cheap old camera, and I knew the specs.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm looking at the specs. I'm like, it says 360, bro. You know, I mean, 720. I think the 1080p was the highest at that time.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, yo, man, we need to go up a little bit more, you know, on the specs, whatever, because this, that, and the third. And he was like, nah, man, just take it. I'm saying, it's not going to come out grainy. And
Right, exactly, right.
So I told him.
Right.
He said, nah, don't worry about it. I said, okay. I'm doing my thing, caught all the moments, the angles and everything. By the time I finished and they told me go edit it, you know, they pay me for that, whatever. I said, okay. I edited it. 360 was like this. The 1080's like this.
Right. Wow.
720's like this.
Right.
480 like this.
Right.
360 is this.
Right.
And that's what they got.
And you know what? Just to elaborate on that,
Yeah.
that's why I shoot with a medium format camera and a large format.
Yeah,
camera.
but it wasn't my camera. It was their camera.
No, I'm just saying. I'm talking
right.
about the different sizes.
Right, exactly.
Okay, I'm just elaborating on the different sizes. That makes a difference. Because if I shoot with my medium format, it gives you a square 6x6 negative.
Right.
So when you take that negative, you can blow it up to the side of a bus
On
and still maintain quality in that image.
But that's on the image side, for the photography side. I'm
Uh-huh.
talking about the video side. It's
Okay,
totally different.
It's not indifferent. Remember what I said to you earlier? Graffiti.
Oh.
There you go. Okay, like let me tell you
I
something.
got you, Sam.
I asked 75% of people, what does the term photography mean? And they couldn't tell me. Photography. The same thing with videography. What we said earlier, photography, cinematography.
Right.
You got that graffiti. It actually means, it's a Greek word, photo. Let's start with that. It means to paint or draw. It's a Greek word that means paint or draw. Now, when you add the graffiti to it, it means with light. So put them together. They are both Greek words, photography. That's where the word comes from. So whenever you got a graffiti, it's going to have association. Yeah, it's going to be associated with light. So these individuals who buying all these cameras or lowballing themselves with these other, you can shoot with them, but you ain't going to get the good quality. And when you blow it up, it's going to look mushy, whatever. See, that's why I said Kaizen. It's associated with the highest of quality. I want the best, or I don't want nothing at all. Now, they got it, and I hope they remember where they got it from. The Shooters Club podcast.
Yes.
Okay? Because everybody will take this and run with it. You know damn well you didn't know what the term photography is, but you were, I'm a photographer. If you put a hammer in a man or woman's hand and say, that don't make you no carpenter.
Right.
Think about that. And I'm saying this to artists, photographers. So again, if you want to act like a carpenter, here's a hammer. Go build your own house. So have that same mindset when somebody say, I could just shoot it with my camera. Remember, you can't miss what you never had. But anyway, the term photography is a Greek word. Photo means to paint or draw. And then you add graffiti. Graffiti is also a Greek word that means with light. So it means to paint or draw with light. So you got to know lighting. Your field light. What's the difference between your main light or your key light, whatever you got to know what's the difference between backlight. How you want to, if you want to be dramatic, you can add gels to that light. Okay, so again, you have what you call 3-point light. So when the artists is back in the 16th century, they didn't have strobes and lights like we got. What did they do? They used natural light.
Natural light.
That's why when you look at a certain paint, they call it Rembrandt, who was an artist. That's why they say when they look at that's called Rembrandt lighting. You understand? That's where the light has a little triangle underneath the eye.
That's right.
That's what they call it, Rembrandt lighting. It's based on history. So that's why a lot of photographers go to museums to look at these 16th century paintings and stuff like that. And if you go to college, they are now teaching you the history of photography.
That's right.
And they also teach you, they make you look at and study paintings of the old. That way you can start developing yourself. That's why I like to look at, I'm inspired by magazine. I look at Vogue, but I don't look at American Vogue. My German teacher told me this long time ago. American Vogue, too this one. He said it was too closed up. He said, you look like, talking about me, you look like a person that's really, he said, look at Italian Vogue. Look at Vogues that when we, that's not afraid to see a woman's breast. Now, a woman has curves that we don't have.
Right.
If you know how to light those curves right, you can really see the different. So I shoot nudes, and at the end of the day, but I shoot nudes that's classical, that's timeless. And I see. Oh, there was one time when the industry was against plus size women or women with curves. Not me. I have an image. If you look on, I started putting it on my website, nude.
Yes.
You see a plus size woman,
Yes.
and she's holding a with candles. I like because they have voluptuous bodies that I'm like, oh, let me light that right. The shadow coming, and then she looking. I mean, I like to work with beauty
Right.
on all levels, and I work with guys as well. You understand? If they got certain body that I'm like, yeah, and that don't make me other than what I am. I'm an artist. And if you got a problem with me, and same thing with my girlfriend. Somebody asked me, how do you? I said, my girlfriend is not jealous. My girlfriend knows that I'm an artist, and see, she's an artist, and I'm attracted to artists, so she understands. I said, babe, you want that mink coat? She said, sure. You remember that mink coat that this is how I get them. Check it out now. I take them, we go window shopping. I ain't spending no money now. We go window shopping. And I'm looking at her now. She go like, damn. She looking at that mink coat. I said, oh, the hat is banging. That hat is nice, right? She's like, yeah, the coat and the hat. I said, wow. I said, all right. So now I'm doing a production. I'm doing a workshop. I said, babe, remember that fur coat and that subway suddenly? If we do this here, you can get it. You collect the money, and I'll do the work. What do you say about that? See? So she did that. Yo, she got the coat and the hat with her name in it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's how you do it. You understand? I'm like, and then at the end of the day, when I'm shooting nudes, if my girl felt insecure, babe, come on the set with me.
There you go.
Come on the set with me. Watch what I do. So because at the end of the day, you don't respect what I do and how I do
Very
it.
professional, yes. Very professional.
Watch what I do. I tell you what, matter of fact, you ain't gonna watch what I do. You're gonna work. You're gonna work. You're gonna work with me. Sit your behind there and collect the tick. Make sure every ticket match what way. You understand? That's it. That way, when we going what we doing now? We're gonna get something to eat, baby. We going to dinner. Then I go home. How did you like the workshop? Oh, it was awesome. Oh, okay, good. You want to do the next one? Oh, sure. There you go. You see? So I don't have no problems.
Yeah, with or without her.
With
Yo,
the,
I remember we did the Hustlers thing. Remember on 42nd Street in Times Square.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
And they was doing all the polls and everything. And,
Right.
We worked together. We just
Right.
worked it out.
Right. And see, that's a plus. And the bottom line, that's a plus because everybody else, to me, and Black, you're blessed because she's with you and you're with him. So you both blessed and you're working. And,
All three of us.
Right. Okay.
Your definition of the photography, I believe, is correct, but I'm thinking.
You believe?
Listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
But I think the definition of each individual word may have been flipped, but we can check it because I don't want it to go out. I may be wrong, but I don't want you to go out with it flipped.
Okay.
I'm thinking photo because I'm thinking photons means with light and graph means to draw, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
Well, okay. Well, listen, that's a good question because we brought that up in school. When you say one is spelled how? P-O-T-O, if I'm correct? And one is spelled P-H-O-T-O.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Right.
So, I mean,
Right.
when you bring a question to me, believe it, I done researched everything.
Right.
So, you right. That's a good question because we used to talk about that in school.
Photons.
Yeah.
Lights.
Po, that's spelled P-O-T-O.
Okay.
Different.
Right.
When you say P-H-O-T-O, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the P-H-T-O. So you can check that.
P-H-O-T-O?
P-H-O-T-O.
Right.
Not P-O-T-O. Different. Right. Beautiful. You know?
I thought proton was
That's
P-R-O-T-O.
photon. That's something different.
Oh.
Photons.
No.
Yeah,
never heard
photons is different. Right.
Photon.
But right.
Just thinking-
Now the thing about listen.
Particles of light.
Yeah.
Right.
Light is-
Yeah. P-O-T-O, that's particles of light. That is right. But when you said P-H-O-T-O, that's different. Because P-O-T-O, that's what make light. The little, like the beloved said. You understand?
Yes.
But it's spelled different. You understand? But, and again, like I said, because I remember we were studying a spectrum, you know, like that glass crystal. And we was talking about what makes up, you know, what makes up that, you know? So exactly. So that's a great question. But as you just checked, right? I'm quite sure.
I was just looking, but I didn't read the whole thing. But it is, I think they're both spelled the same way.
No, photo is
P-H-O-T-O-N. P-H-O-T-O-N. A photon is an elementary particle that is a quantum of the electromagnetic field, including electromagnetic radiation,
right.
such as light and radio waves, and the force carrier for the electromagnetic force.
Okay.
Photons are massless, so they always move at the speed of light when in a vacuum.
Right. Now, that's a good point. But if it's spelled P-H-O-T-O, it ends with an N. It's not, so,
Photon.
right, okay? But again, you take the N off. We're not talking about tons. Those are the things that make up light. That's the energy that makes up light, correct?
Yes.
That's the energy that
Yes.
makes up light. We're talking entirely about what photo means. To paint with light.
P-H-O-T-O.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So what he's speaking about is true. That's like the paint.
Right.
You
You
see?
talking about the literary painting?
No, what? I'm just
No,
using the
he's talking
synopsis.
about the-
Oh,
the-
okay. All right.
PH.
In other words,
The N
so
on it. He's
so
talking about
like
something
the
different.
beam, like what's hitting me right now is P-H-O-T-O-N. That's what's hitting me right now. And you can't see it. It should say that. You cannot see it.
Right, right. You can't see
Right,
it.
you can't see it.
Right.
Okay, but that's what that is.
He's talking about something different.
Oh.
No, okay, so the definition of photo is a representation of a person or a scene in the form of a print or transparent slide recorded by a camera on light-sensitive material.
Okay, now go. It got to be another meaning to that.
Yeah, there's plenty of meanings.
Right.
Let's look at the Greek word photo.
Okay, Greek, let me see if that exists.
Oh, it has to exist.
Or actually, what does the term photography mean? Or you know,
I put in Greek a word-forming element meaning light,
there you go.
There you go.
or photographic or photoelectric from Greek photo.
He said Greek in the beginning anyway.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's dope.
No, but I just didn't want to put it out and then.
Oh
somebody-
yeah. You're right. You're
Right.
right.
The whole definition was correct, but I didn't know if it was flip-flop.
Right.
Oh yeah.
When we say
And-
graffiti, we're talking about someone drawing.
Right. But we said graffiti. We didn't say graffiti.
I know. But
Right,
I'm
exactly.
looking at roots.
Right.
Roots to word.
But
Right,
that's
right.
actually the English root, because he said even with graffiti, he said it was Greek.
Gra.
No, I'm saying you said graffiti. You said
No, he said
Greek.
Graffiti. Graffiti.
Right.
Photography.
Graffiti.
G-R.
And
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
you said German.
Greek.
Didn't you say German from the beginning? You said
No, I
photo.
said my German teacher.
Right. Okay.
If I use the term German, I was
okay.
talking about my teacher. But graffiti basically means what that means.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? But like I said, that's a good point because we was teaching about that the other about the proton. Did I say or the photon? You know, see, that's the element that makes the light.
Right.
You understand? And that's just the thing about it. So when you understand the photons, it's like when you lighten a subject, you have to pay attention to the direction of light because the proton is like a stream of light. So if this light, you got to turn the light to fix it on your subject.
Right.
And now you're looking at your subject to see how the light falls on that subject. So you say, okay, if this area is dark, you say, I need to add light. You can put a reflector, a white reflector, because white, as we know, reflects light. That light will bounce off into the reflector, which will give me a soft light.
Right,
You have what you call harsh lighting and soft lighting.
Like a ricochet.
No,
Like
that's
some-
why they put this right here. That's why they put a diffuser. Now, the best way to learn is when a cloud. When you're walking in the street and you see a light pole and you see the sun is shining and you see the shadow of that light pole on the ground, that's because the sun is
course.
closer to that particular subject. But then when you see the cloud, which move in front of the sun, it becomes soft, even light. Okay, it produces soft, even light.
And that's the best. That's the best. The best to take shots, because I used to take. I have the 360 camera,
Yes.
and then sometimes when I put the pole up, you see the pole on the ground. when
Right,
the sun,
right,
when
right.
the sun is out.
Exactly.
But when it's cloudy and I put the pole up, you don't see that.
Right, right,
see-
right.
you don't see that.
And that's
That's
why,
gonna shoot,
because see,
yeah.
the cloud is doing exactly what this is doing right here.
Right.
If he, right, if he takes this off, it's going to be harsh. It's going to produce harsh lighting. But that is a diffuser, and that diffuser soft and give you soft skin tone.
Right.
You know, that's basically.
Light in all different directions as opposed to a straight.
Right, right,
Right.
and it's spreading the light exactly. That's why
Yeah,
we
like
call that
this
an
is-
octabox.
Right.
This particular is called an octa box, and what it does is spreads the light out
Right.
and give you that soft, even light.
I have a question. One question.
Yeah.
What cameras right now? I know you told me the Nikon, but what are the model of cameras you use right now? Like when you go out and do shooting for an event, what's in your arsenal? Do you use different
I have
devices?
I have two Nikon. I think I got the Nikon 200, the Nikon D200.
D200.
Yeah, and I have two bodies. I have two of those.
And how many lenses you have?
I have about 6 different lenses.
Okay, so you got wide angle,
What? Okay, I always start out with normal.
normal,
Okay, if I got a normal lens, I don't really need a wide angle lens.
right?
Okay, I got a wide, and then I'll move 135 millimeter, a portrait,
Okay,
and then I got, if I'm doing a concert or something like that, I got a 300 millimeter lens.
got you.
Like where I can be far away
Right.
and to put everything up close.
That's what
So
you
that's
got.
yeah,
That's
that's
what
what I got. 300 millimeter lens.
Yes.
Or sometimes it can be a 300 millimeter with macro.
Okay,
Because bottom line, you can be here and then you can zoom it, make it closer to you. You know. But again, if you're shooting macro, I suggest you take your camera and put it on something to be stable.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, if you're not using a monopod or a tripod, that way you shoot it, That way, when you blow it up, you won't have that much grain and stuff like
micro is good when I do these blue bugs and flowers and
Yeah, yeah,
fields
yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
Like, I like to do
That's
that. Macro.
macro. Yeah, macro.
Macro.
Yeah, that's exactly what they created that for.
Yeah, I love that. I love
yeah,
that.
yeah,
I love
macro.
that.
But you can also shoot it in terms of concert. Because I remember when I was at Radio City and I did a shoot with Tony Braxton, and I had my 300 millimeter lens, and I sat all the way in the back, and she was like close. That's when she had on that nice white Versace dress, and I just shot. I was quiet, found me a spot.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love doing that because
Yes.
I did Black Girls Rock one time,
Oh, okay.
and they hired me. They let me sit in the audience, and I had my little role, and I just pulled out that 200 at the time. I had.
Wow.
And I was just boom shooting all
Yeah.
day because Mary
Yeah.
J. Blige, all the
Yeah,
cars,
yeah,
come up, boom,
yeah.
boom, quietly.
Right,
Then I
right.
put my phone on silent so they couldn't hear nothing.
Right. Exactly. That's it.
All night. I loved it. I loved
And
it.
see, the thing about it, again, like I said, when you got these celebrities, like the way you guys got them, to tell you the truth, that really should add value to them. That should add value to you.
Yeah.
Why I say that? A lot of photographers, they shoot, and they, a lot of these top photographers, names, they shoot, but their work is like, eh. But what really make them okay is that they shot Denzel Washington, or they shot this person, or they shot that person. So it was that celebrity that really boosted them up. Oh, who shot that? Mark Sellinger. Okay, oh, who shot that? Whatever. Whoever. But we do good work.
Yes, we do.
We do great work. But at the end of the day, we don't get the credit. Because bottom line, let's take Vogue. It wasn't until the Black Lives Matter. Now, let me tell you the behind the scene. And if Anna Wintour listen to her, she need to listen in because this is us.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Now listen to this. Vogue had a history of not hiring black photographers.
Who?
Vogue
Oh man,
magazine.
I didn't know that.
125 years of not hiring black. Now check this out. Beyonce was on the cover of Vogue, the first. Beyonce, if you look at Vogue, she did not do that insert. That insert meaning talking about the writing. Somebody else did that. They wanted to shoot Beyonce again. Beyonce took full control of that. She said, I don't want to do it. And she told Anna Wintour, I don't want to do it. If it's not a black photographer, and I'm doing the insert. So the September issue, she hired Tyler Mitchell, who's a 25-year-old black photographer from Atlanta. And he got, you can Google him, Tyler Mitchell, good brother. He shot that. He did the cover. Beyonce now did the inserts. And that magazine was one of the hottest. So during the Black Lives Matter project, they attacked Anna Wintour. I tell everybody, if you're in fashion, read this book. Brother, you know why. I mean, you know why.
I mean, I know why, but wow.
Exactly. So that's why I tell, I'm not a racist, but at the end of the day, we're black. Let your work speak for you. Don't look for clients. Don't look for clients. Let clients look for you.
Right, that's true.
I don't look for clients. Okay, I got on February 25th, I'm doing this artist. White guy, Justin Bieber looking type, sing good. So his PR called me, Mr. Williams, I'm listening. I said, okay, fine. I told him my rates. You pay me deposit first.
Right.
You pay me a deposit, and that way when I'm finished and giving you the finished product, we pay the balance. Okay, that's how I do it. That way they want, it's cost too much. I'm not taking it all at one time. Give me 50%. If I don't have 50%, I don't come out.
Right.
I don't come out. Because you're telling me about yourself. You don't really want me.
Right.
You may want my work, but you don't want me.
Right.
Okay? So with that, and you as an artist, don't.
We are artists too, by the way.
Right. Don't separate yourself from your work.
That's right.
You are one, and you are one with your work and what you do.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up.
And don't let people separate you from what you do, because they will try to separate you.
Well, some people.
Explain what that means. Separate you from your work.
Okay, that's a good question. When if you got what you heard the term standard.
Yes.
Say you have a standard price. You charge this amount money for your work, okay? When a person come in and try to separate you from your standards, that's separation.
Right.
The creator does not deal with a separation. The creator only deals with wholeness. You got so many divisions. I don't deal with divisions. The creator deal with the wholeness of a man. So I mean, don't separate me from it. This is my standard. You either want it or you don't.
Right.
That's right.
So if you trying to not, if somebody say, could you give it to me for $50?
Right.
That's separating you from your standard.
Right. Or some people say, can I have all the photos first and I'll pay you later?
No.
And then they say, oh, well, I don't like the photos, so I'm not going to pay you. And you just, shot everything.
That's why.
Edited. We know
All
it's
of that.
amazing because it's only that one person that's saying it.
Right.
The whole 99 other people thought your work was amazing.
Right.
So it's not you as a photographer that's
Right.
not good.
Exactly.
They just don't want to pay you what you're
That's
worth.
why I said you tell your clients 50%. Bottom line, we have a thing.
Non-refundable.
Right. Non-refundable. Thank you. And check this out. Like my mama would say, put your money where your mouth. Put your money where your mouth.
That's right.
A lot of us talk. Okay. Put up or shut up. You know that back in the day shooting dice. Wow. See, look, come on, man.
Yeah.
You had to put up.
Exactly.
You went, well, can I shoot? And nah. I mean, really, now, I used to run numbers before Lotto came out. I used to run numbers. I was 15 years old running numbers.
Wow.
I had to I'll put your number, combinate it with the number, rip your receipt off, and I had to get out of school before the Belita come out.
Yeah, believe it right there.
Okay.
That was on Washington and right there next to the pizza shop. That one.
Yeah, well, no. I used to do it for my uncle and my aunt. You know, they would, you know. But that's what I did.
Yeah.
I mean, and then at the end of the day, I'm a small brother, and all my brothers was bigger than me. And I like fashion. I like to dress a certain way. I'm meticulous. I like, okay, if his name, I'm not gonna spend beyond my means now. I'm not gonna go get a Ralph Lauren coat and I ain't got no food in my refrigerator. Now we ain't having that. So that's what I'm basically saying, you know, and that's basically. But what I say, so you understand what I'm saying, brother? Don't let nobody separate you from who you are, and especially your creativity.
Oh yeah.
You got standard. Standard. If you know the term, what the standard means, it means what you're standing on. That's your standard. Now, if they not paying you that, you can't miss what you never had.
Right.
And you know what? It minimizes and it eliminates a lot of.
Right.
Can I get time?
Right.
That's 5 minutes you don't spend giving that person your time. You could have been shooting.
Right.
Right? So your time, as I stated earlier, is a precious commodity. Once lost, it can be never gained.
Right.
So don't
Right.
please talk to me. Here's my card. You want me? Call me. That's it. You
I
right?
was reading a business book, and
Yes,
the
sir.
person said, fire bad customers.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah, I agree with that.
How you fire a bad customer?
If
Because-
you don't want to pay my price, and you're not agreeing, or you want something free, or you decide you don't want to pay, you're a headache.
Right.
And you think, oh, but I gotta pay my rent, and this person,
Yeah,
I need them.
you right.
No.
Yes, you're
Right.
100%
Bad
right.
customer.
That's why I said never shoot out of desperation.
Right.
Never. If you shoot out of desperation, you're vulnerable now. And you're about to sell your soul. Don't shoot out of desperation.
Right.
Shoot out of creativity.
Yes.
That's the thing. Never forget now my teacher told me, we say in Japanese. I'm going to say it in Japanese and I'm going to translate it in English. Shoshin wasuri bi karazo. That means to remember your original intentions.
Wow.
Okay? Remember you're a photographer. Remember your original intentions.
Because we get caught up in
Exactly. Don't sell yourself out of desperation.
Love that.
Make sure you got your stomach. We got another saying we say, when we go, 80% full and only 80, 90, 100, 20%, you eat before you leave here. My mother raised us that way. That way we don't go around, you want a cake? Yes. My mother had 9 kids.
Right.
But my mother was proud. So my mother we couldn't, even if we went to our cousin's house, we wasn't hungry.
Oh.
Mommy fed us there.
Home.
Right. And then when we got to where we got, you want some? We want some water? No, thank you. Go on ahead. No, we good.
Right.
And my mother was big on that. So we couldn't eat. And then I even took it to the next level. I don't eat everywhere.
Right.
You want something to eat? No, I'm good. I want to be safe.
Yes.
When I go to cookouts, I don't know. Do you know if they listen to me?
How did they clean the food?
Exactly. And we trust our lives with somebody we don't know every day.
Right.
So you got to be careful.
Yeah.
When you go to the old the old timers days. And they have to figure
Yeah.
out that thing.
Exactly.
No, you can't
Right.
do that.
Exactly. I don't. Because again, like I said, when you get on the bus, do you know if that bus driver sniffed cocaine the night before?
Right.
You don't know. So we
Especially
trust
with
our
the
life.
Greyhound.
Right. We trust our life with somebody we don't know every day. When you get in the Uber, you know the condition. No, you don't know. So that's why you got to stay. You got to stay with oneness, with yourself. Appreciate everybody.
Right.
But when a person don't appreciate you or your work, now the brother said the brother said fire those. I say you can't fire those who you didn't first hire.
Right.
Am I
You
correct?
can't hire them, right?
But
So-
sometimes you get into relationships, you're working with somebody.
Right.
When you get familiar, they start to
Right.
respect or-
That he said the same thing.
they wanna lowball
so
you.
they right. But again, like I said, no good.
Right.
This is what it is. And like I said, on February 25th, I got this artist who I am supposed to be shooting. So I said, let me hear his work. I'm doing the concept on him. Let me hear. He sounds good, you know. But where we going? So I asked his producer, where are we going with this? What do you want? How do you want him to be? How do you want the world to see him? Okay. Okay, we can get it. Okay. We want to do 3 wears. Okay. Do we have a stylist? He he don't. Okay. We need a wardrobe stylist. Where I can sit down. Remember, I said pre-shoot planning.
Right.
I like to talk to my people, creative team. That way we know what we got.
Right.
Where we going with it. You know. So wherever we going, when we get up in the studio, we're not wasting time. Bing, 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 bing. Everything. All right. We can go eat after that.
Right.
That's how it is. You know.
Yeah.
And that's
So
what
I
it is.
want to say any final thoughts before we wrap it up. We just want to say thank you so much for your time, but I'm sure they'll put their input too. But any final thoughts?
First and foremost, I want to thank you guys for providing me with the opportunity. Okay, because again, I really hope that this podcast continue to grow. I hope this podcast and individuals who are listening to this podcast, because you guys are really putting together some renowned photographers, and we cannot wait for others to call the shots for us.
Right.
That's a beautiful thing. So again, all I wanted to say to the people is shoot, be creative, and don't be stagnated by what outside says about you. Do your work, believe in your work, and respect your work. And always remember, whatever you don't inspect, the world won't respect. You
You
know?
have to make a T-shirt out of it.
Right, exactly. So that's just it.
As long as you put your name on the
There you go. You know, there you go.
doing
Whatever.
that too.
So inspect your work. Develop a relationship with what you're doing and how you're doing it.
Right, right.
You see? And once you develop that relationship, don't let nobody get you to separate yourself through money or whatever. They try to get you to separate yourself from. Have standards. Stand on those. Stand firm on it. You know? And remember, Shoshin Wasuri bi Karazo. Never forget your original intentions. Go back and ask yourself, why did I get into photography? And when you're asking yourself an internal question. So that was internal. So don't let the external world set you off your balance.
Right.
Remember, it was internal. It was a conversation you had with yourself. And what I want to wrap up, and I want to say this to everybody. Learn to have a conversation with your own greatness.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for having me.
So much.
I'd like to take this time and this grateful opportunity to shout out the Shooters Club podcast. Blacksmith, Tariq, and the Queen Thais.
Yes.
Thank you guys for the opportunity, and I hope and pray that you guys listen to this valuable lessons. Creative people, listen to this value and take what from this and make it work for you. Take from this what it works for you. So again, I want to thank from the bottom of my heart for rendering me this opportunity, the Shooters Club podcast. And you will see me again. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you so much for watching the Shooters Club podcast. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe below to our YouTube channel. Thanks again for watching and have an amazing day.